From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Anne Waodo.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, President Bola Tinubu approves the recruitment of 1,000 forest guards in Oyo State and the establishment of a specialized security unit as the federal government delegation visits the families of abducted pupils and teachers in Ogbomoso. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde assures residents that his administration will do everything possible to secure the safe return of the abducted pupils and teachers. An ADC presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar meets with Mohammed Hayatuddin, who contested the party's ticket alongside him, with both men agreeing to work together ahead of the 2027 general election. And medical charity Medicine Sans Frontières warns that the spread of Ebola in the Democratic Republic of Congo is deeply alarming, calling for urgent measures to contain the outbreak and protect affected communities. And President Bola Tinubu has approved the recruitment of 1,000 forest guards in Oyo State, and this is in collaboration with the state government. And this follows the visit of a high-powered federal government delegation to the areas and communities in Orire local government area of Oyo State, following the abduction of pupils and teachers from some schools on May the 15th, 2026. The delegation, led by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, conveyed President Bola Tinubu's deep concern over the incident and his commitment to securing the safe return of the victims. I'll bring you more on that later. Meanwhile, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde says that his administration will continue to put in all efforts to ensure the safe return of the teachers and the children abducted in Orire local government area of Oyo State. Governor Makinde stated this at a basic school, Ahoro, in the area where a delegation of government functionaries and political allies were on a visit to commiserate with the families and relatives of the victims. Our correspondent, Bukola Oriwo, reports.
Governor Seyi Makinde leads a delegation of state officials to the suburb of Ogbomoso in Orire local government area of the state. The marks of the disaster that occurred are still evident. Residents have fled their once peaceful homes within the communities. It's been 14 days of agony since the abduction of 39 persons from Mahuru Esiele community. Teachers and pupils, mostly children, were taken captive by gunmen. Protests broke out in Ogbomoso and Ibadan by teachers and civil society groups, appealing that all necessary should be done to bring the victims back safely. As the grief of the relatives intensify, they make passionate appeal to Governor Makinde to rescue their loved ones. Responding, Governor Makinde sympathizes with the people of the community and the affected families, noting that the incident would be the first time Nigeria would experience abduction involving underage children. He, however, reiterates his resolve to ensure the safe release of the abducted students and their teachers to reunite them with their loved ones.
We will continue to put in all the efforts, and I give you the assurance simply that by Allah, we will bring them out. Because it's an ongoing operation, to the only security implication, I cannot say so much. Apart from key encouraging, I know you're bleeding. I am also bleeding in my heart.
The governor commends the service commanders for their support, dedication and commitment to ensuring security of lives and property of the people, even as he salutes the courage of security agents who lost their lives in process. He later held a brief private meeting with the families of the abducted pupils and teachers to further discuss ongoing rescue efforts and provide reassurance of the government's commitment to ensuring their release. Bukola Oriowo, Channel Television News.
Staying with security matters, the Department of State Services, the DSS, has arrested 5 persons, including 2 Nigerians, suspected to be armed couriers to gunmen who on November the 21st, 2025, attacked St. Mary's Catholic School in Papiri in Niger State, abducting nearly 300 students and staff. The DSS also recovered a large cache of arms, including 15 AK rifles and 1,434 rounds of live ammunition. According to security sources, one Yusuf Mohammed, also known as Baturi, who is on the list of wanted members of the terror group, and his accomplice Mubarak Ibrahim were arrested on the Zaria-Kaduna highway while on their way to collect a consignment of arms for their commanders. The follow-up operation led to the arrest of one Goni Ibrahim from Difa region and his accomplice Tukur Sani. Days after the arrests, another member of the syndicate, identified as Alhaji Adamu, also known as Gado Benufe, was arrested in Yauri in Kebbi State. The security sources disclosed that preliminary investigations had established that the 5 men served as arms couriers to the gunmen who carried out the November 2025 attacks on the Catholic boarding school in Papiri. Dozens of gunmen on motorcycles had in the wee hours of November the 21st, 2025, stormed the Catholic primary and secondary boarding school, rounding up students and teachers at gunpoint. About a month after that attack on December the 21st, 2025, the federal government and Niger State officials confirmed the rescue and the safe return of the captives. And I'll take you back to our lead story on security in Oyo State, where President Bola Tinubu has approved the recruitment of 1,000 forest guards in Oyo State, and this is in collaboration with the state government.
2 weeks after the abduction of pupils and teachers in Ogbomoso, Oyo State, a federal government delegation led by the Chief of Staff to the President, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, and other officials arrived at Ogbomoso to visit the affected community in Oyo State. Other members of the delegation include the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, the Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, and the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu. The team proceeds on a journey to Orire local government area where the incident occurred, a lonely road almost deserted, which poses security threats to the people. After an hour's journey to the second largest local government area in Oyo State, the team arrives at the meeting point in Orire community, where they were greeted by weeping mothers and families of the abducted victims crying out for help. Emotions continue to pour in as some of the affected families share their ordeal. One of them is Professor Wale Alamu, the husband of the kidnapped principal, appealing to governments to act swiftly.
No matter what it takes us, please, let this woman be released. She's 56. It was 56 on April 23rd. And this experience has been too much for that age. I can't communicate her for 17 days. The only thing I see is the video and the gun that is on her neck. If she's released, I know other teachers will be released too, and ditto for our children.
Some of the traditional rulers in attendance call for the establishment of a military base in their locality.
There is no good adequate infrastructure here. No communication infrastructure. If you look at it, no good roads. Please, we want the government to look into that. Also, the forest is porous. There is nothing in the forest at all. I will suggest if the government can have a brigade.
Nobody can go to the farm with peace of mind. Please assist us. And as we are saying, please establish a military base in this zone to guide us.
The residents say the school environment is not safe for pupils who come here to learn, while the state's government seeks federal government's assistance to secure the schools in the state.
We were told that vulnerable schools will be fenced by the federal government. The people of Oyo State and the government of Oyo State want you to expedite action on this so that vulnerable schools can be fenced.
The Chief of Staff to the President sympathizes with families of those killed by their abductors. He says President Tinubu has directed security agencies to rescue all the victims.
We will use everything, like I said, possible, we'll do everything possible, adopting the non-kinetic approach, but without compromising and being ready to use the kinetic approach where necessary. All options are on the table, but the ultimate goal and objective is that all the children come home.
The National Security Advisor and the Minister of Defense call for the support of the community leaders and ask them to speak up when they see anything strange.
Our appeal is that the security forces cannot do this alone. We need your cooperation also, because you know the terrain, you know the areas. Our appeal is, if you see anything that is strange, anybody that is new, people coming around, working aimlessly within your communities that you have never seen, please report as quickly as possible.
The palace of the show of Ogbomosho's palace is the final stop for the team, where they met with the wife and children of the teacher who was killed by the bandits.
And forceful abductions of persons have been described as one of the rising criminal acts in Nigeria, especially along highways, schools, and the vulnerable conflict-affected areas. And according to the International Committee for the Red Cross, there are 2,000 cases of missing persons in Yobe State, either through forceful abduction or otherwise. In the special report, Channels Television tells the story of 74-year-old Audu Kadiri, a man who survived 17 years in captivity before a military operation finally set him free.
Frail, weak, and confined to a wheelchair. These are the painful remnants of a nightmare that lasted 17 years. 74-year-old Audu Kadiri from Jaba community in Jakusko local government area of Yobe State had left home in search of gum arabic in the Sambisa forest, but he never returned. Unknown to his family, he had walked straight into the territory of Boko Haram insurgents, where escape meant death. Although rescued by the military during an operation, freedom has come at a terrible cost. His hands and legs are badly swollen, his body weakened by years of hardship, illness, and immobility.
We were scouting for gum arabic, and they took charge of all directions in the Sambisa forest. No way to escape. If you attempt to do it, you will be killed. We were held hostage for these years. I stayed there farming to survive until when military operation led to my freedom and taken to Goza IDP camp, and today reunited with my uncle.
For his family, it is a reunion they never thought would happen. With the support of the International Committee of the Red Cross, Audu Kadiri's relatives were traced after his details were obtained from the Goza Internally Displaced Persons Camp. The emotional reunion in Damaturu was filled with tears and anguish.
He left to look for gum arabic and left behind 2 children and 1 wife, which I don't know their whereabouts. I am grateful. When I get home, I will gather my people to pray for this organization that reunite us.
We have this particular vulnerable adult that got separated with his family for over 10 years, I think over 12 years actually. And then we registered him by our team. And of course, we kept looking for the family members in Bursari, LGA of Yobe State. It's actually one of challenging tracing, even as far as our work is concerned, because of the nature of the origin of the family there who have been moving from one place to another by the livelihood orientation. And of course, it took us going to places, working at night and day to deploying our team members from Damatru to the location to pass nights and all that.
ICRC Protection and Family Link says more than 2,500 people in Yobe State have reported family members missing or abducted owing to the insurgency. For many families, the wait continues.
In Yobe here, we have about 2,500 inquirers who opened cases for various actions in different places. But of course, we have such persons that we are looking for here in Yobe of about 2,000 in number. Most of them as for search or tracing in Bujba LGA of the state here.
The challenges of forceful abduction of persons gained global attention following the kidnapping of the Chibok schoolgirls in 2014 and the Dapchi schoolgirls in 2018, with many victims still unaccounted for. In spite of sustained military operations, abductions have continued to threaten education, livelihoods and security across communities. This security analyst describes the trend as a consequence of deep systematic failure.
Because of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, the recently enacted law in Nigeria, they will now give a flimsy charge, take somebody to magistrate court. Magistrate court that has no jurisdiction. Get a remand order, remand you for 2 weeks, renew it for another 2 weeks, renew it for the third time. Once it is 6 weeks, the magistrate has no right to keep that person in custody. He has to release him on bail. Another part of the systemic failure is the inability of the Directorate of Public Prosecution to give legal advice and prosecute offenders.
Although Audu Kadri has been united with his relatives after 17 years in captivity, regrettably, his wife is still missing and the 2 children he left behind are now dead. The only family he has left is an elderly uncle.
In part 2, after the break, ADC presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar meets with Mohammed Hayatuddin, who contested the party's ticket alongside him, with both men agreeing to work together ahead of the 2027 general election. Please join us again. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our main stories. President Bola Tinubu approves the recruitment of 1,000 forest guards in Oyo State and the establishment of a specialized security unit as a federal government delegation visits the families of abducted pupils and teachers in Ogbomoso. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde assures residents that his administration will do everything possible to secure the safe return of the abducted pupils and teachers. APC presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar meets with Mohammed Hayatuddin, who contested the party's ticket alongside him, with both men agreeing to work together ahead of the 2027 general election. And medical charity Medicines Sans Frontières warns the rapid spread of Ebola in the Democratic Republic of Congo is deeply alarming, calling for urgent measures to contain the outbreak and protect affected communities. For Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress has met with a co-contestant, Mohammed Hayatuddin, in Lagos in an effort to realign and form a formidable front in the 2027 general election in Nigeria. After a lengthy closed-door meeting, both parties agreed to bury the hatchet and work together. And this is on the heels of a similar sit-down between Mr. Atiku Abubakar and the former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, who also contested for the ADC ticket.
I've come to visit my brother, Mohammed Hayatuddin, and also fellow contestants in the last ADC's primary elections. Well, first and foremost, there is no personal quarrel between Mohammed Hayatuddin and myself. We basically discuss how we can unite the party and also promote the party to Nigerians so that we achieve victory and then drive away the APC government. I'm 79, he's 70-something, he's my younger brother, but we have never seen Nigeria so badly governed. And we believe we need to unite. No matter our differences, we need to unite to make sure that this country is saved from collapse. We have always worked together. Last elections season, we have worked together, and we're also going to work together this time.
So I'm deeply grateful that the former vice president and presidential candidate has found the time to come with a high-powered entourage to pay a courtesy call on me. Our discussions were productive, very useful, purely geared towards how we're going to move forward, having clinched the ticket of the party in order to ensure that we take decisive steps in launching a very vigorous and serious campaign so that we can put him and the party in office in January 2027. I think that this is a competitive field. The test of the pudding is in the eating. We have a very robust platform. We have a party leadership that is serious, committed. We are looking for national renewal and national rebirth. And I believe that we are going to give them a very good run for their money. But most importantly, they are going to be standing on their record. And that record is quite problematic, and will offer something new, something different, something visionary that will take this country forward.
The former senator representing Taraba South Senatorial Zone, Joel Ikenya, has emerged as the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Now, his emergence through direct primaries now puts the number of PDP governorship candidates to 2, with the question of who is the authentic candidate of the party in the state.
Barely 5 days ago, the People's Democratic Party members loyal to the Abdurrahman-led PDP elected its governorship candidate, Emmanuel Buacha, to fly the flag of the party in the 2027 general elections through a consensus voice vote affirmation, and it was witnessed by INEC officials.
By the grace of God, we are going to take this state to a new level. And God helping us, you will never regret voting PDP to government again.
A few days after, another set loyal to the Tanimu-Turaki-led PDP are also holding their governorship primary election. Although other elective positions were unopposed, the governorship candidate was chosen via direct primaries, and the former senator representing Taraba South Senatorial Zone and former Minister of Labour, Joel Ikenya, emerged winner. The candidate insists that the incumbent governor was elected under the platform of the PDP before defecting to the APC, and he is poised to retrieve the alleged stolen mandate.
I'm for them and they are for me. I want them to be united to take back our, I cannot say stolen mandate, our mandate. Taraba, you know, Taraba State is PDP. PDP is Taraba State. And PDP is in the blood of everybody in Taraba State. Exactly. Therefore, I want to assure everybody that Taraba State will remain PDP.
Unlike the earlier primary election, which was witnessed by INEC officials, the primary election that produced Senator Joel Ikenya was not graced by any official of the electoral body.
At the state level, I personally delivered the letters informing INEC of our activities, the activities of the panel set in by the interim National Working Committee acting under the directive of the NEC of the party. If they did not show up, it is their choice. We've done the right thing. We did proper primary elections, and winners have emerged. As you can see, there is no rancor, there is no fight, there is nothing that will vitiate or will not make our congresses to be acceptable.
As both parties continue to lay claim to the leadership of the party, attention will now shift to the courtroom to affirm who flies the party's flag in the 2027 general election in Taraba State.
Nigerians have been asked to pray for peace, unity and improved security across the country as part of efforts to strengthen national cohesion. And this call was made by the senior pastor of the God City International Church during the church's 10th anniversary celebration in Abuja. The week-long event culminated in a praise and thanksgiving service marked by prayers for Nigeria and a rededication to impact lives and communities. Our correspondent, Benny Ark, reports.
God City International Church has kept its week-long 10th anniversary celebration with a praise and thanksgiving service in Abuja, marking 10 years of ministry, growth and impact. The program featured praise and worship, prayers, testimonies, special ministrations, choir and drama presentations as members reflect on a decade of God's faithfulness. Children also participated in special presentations, adding color to the celebration. The senior pastor describes the journey as a testimony of God's grace and sustaining power.
This mandate I've spoken in the life of individuals, families, community, society, and nations. And the mandate is still speaking. Lift up your voice and say, Father.
The week-long celebration peaked with the Power Touch Night on Friday and culminated on Sunday with praise and thanksgiving, where worshippers offer thanks and prayers for the nation. In his message, the senior pastor exhorted congregants on gratitude and God's blessings while calling for continued prayers for peace, unity, security, and prosperity in Nigeria. Members also share testimonies of transformations, strengthened families, and community impact through the church's ministry.
Coming to this church, I've had numerous situations personally whereby I needed some prayers, and the pastor, my pastor, came through for me.
We can talk about divine intervention during health challenges. We can talk about preservation and protection of lives and properties of the members. We can talk about even the growth of the church.
After the service, the pastor described the anniversary as a moment of reflection and a rededication to greater service and impact in communities.
In every way, the church has been a blessing to members and even the community. For the 7 days that we have started now, there is free feeding 2 times, morning and evening, plus food stuff. And many people have been trained in areas that they desire to be trained.
The celebration ends with prayers for the nation, thanksgiving and fellowship as members look ahead to another decade of ministry and impact. Benny Ark, Channels Television News.
The 3 students of the Federal University of Technology in Owerri have been arrested by the Imo State Police Command over the 11-year-old undergraduate Chinedu Chibuzo. The late Chinedu, a 100-level cybersecurity student and member of the Man-O-War organization in the institution, reportedly died after he was allegedly assaulted by fellow Man-O-War members following an accusation of a theft of 13,500 naira. Giving more clarity on that situation, the police public relations officer in Imo State, Henry Okoye, issued a statement saying the preliminary investigation revealed that the victim was allegedly restrained and subjected to severe assault by some members of the organization, resulting in critical injuries. Still ahead on the news at 10, federal government vows to revoke contracts for the construction of 250 housing units in Yobe State over concerns regarding project delivery and compliance with contractual obligations. Please join us again.
ChannelsTV.com has more information on our top stories and others. Subscribe and watch Channels Television's live stream on YouTube and other social media platforms using your mobile device browser, or download the Channels TV app for Android and iOS devices from their respective stores. You can also watch us via your smart TV platforms on Apple TV, Android TV, Fire TV, and Roku. Channels Television. Ubiquitous.
Welcome back. You're still watching the news at 10 on Channels Television. The Nigerian Navy has taken delivery of new accommodation and recreational facilities at the Nigerian Navy ship Delta in Warri, Delta State. The projects, constructed by Tantita Security Services, Nigeria Limited, and the naval base, are all aimed at enhancing personnel welfare and operational efficiency in the Niger Delta region.
As security agencies continue efforts to safeguard critical oil and gas assets in the Niger Delta, attention is also being given to the welfare and well-being of personnel deployed across the region. Over the years, a number of infrastructure projects have been constructed and delivered by Tantita Securities as part of its corporate social responsibility to support security operations, including the construction of a police station in Ogborikoko and facilities at the 33 Battalion, Efron, amongst others. The latest addition is at the Nigerian Navy ship Delta in Warri, where senior rates 30 self-contained transit accommodation and an executive officer institutional accommodation have been completed and commissioned.
In 2022, we were assigned the project to protect the pipelines. The strewn in the land section of waters and everything you can see within the Brash East section of the Nigerian coast. In all of it, the figures seen today is as a result of the collaboration we have with you. Many in the line of duty are passed in the course of protecting not just this country's citizens, but also its resources. The least we can do is to try as much as possible to make those who pass through these institutions their lives as comfortable as we can.
I must especially recognize and thank our esteemed partner, Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited, for the generous and patriotic sponsorship of two very critical projects, which are the 30x1 senior rate transit accommodation and the executive officer institutional house. This project sponsorship demonstrates what is possible when the private sector aligns with the Navy's mission for improved standards.
Representing the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Idi Abbas, the flag officer commanding Central Naval Command, Rear Admiral Suleiman Ibrahim, accompanied by other top naval officers as well as management and staff of Tantita, then moved to officially inaugurate the project. The event also featured the inauguration of a lawn tennis court, volleyball court, and a car park constructed by the Navy.
What Tantita has done would go a long way to impact on the habitability of our personnel. I mean, we have gone into these projects and we've seen how beautifully done they are, and the personnel that will use them. No doubt, they work very hard. When they get back home, they would have somewhere very, very comfortable to rest. And this would no doubt have more value on their operationability. So they would do more because of they're able to rest.
The facilities are expected to provide improved living conditions for naval personnel serving within the command.
Still on infrastructural development, the federal government has vowed to revoke contracts of non-performing contractors handling the renewed Hope housing units across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Dr. Mustapha Rabi Darma, who disclosed this in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital, says the project was awarded in May 2024 with a completion period of 4 calendar months.
On the 24th of May 2024, the then State Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Abdullahi Gozo, alongside Governor Minalabuni, arrived at the project site for the groundbreaking ceremony of the 250 1, 2, and 3-bedroom semi-detached housing units in the state capital. The project has 3 to 4 months completion period, which the contractors agreed with the federal government's terms and conditions.
As we break the ground on these projects, I want to charge the developers to ensure that they build according to specifications. I expect you to deliver a quality job because we will not tolerate substandard. We also want you to have this work finished within the next 3 months so that we can begin the process of getting Yobe indigenous to purchase and move in.
It's exactly 2 years when the project commenced, and none of the contractors is close to 50% completion of the project despite payment made to them. The Minister of Housing, who was appointed less than a year ago, is here to inspect the project and express dissatisfaction with the pace.
All of the contracts you see here, all of them were awarded in 2024. And the contractors were supposed to hand over, complete the project just 4 months after the commencement. They signed contract that they will complete the project after 4 months of commencement. And see what we can see. Only about 40% of completion. It is pathetic. This cannot be tolerated. We'll dig more, we'll find out what is happening, and we will terminate the contract of contractors who are not able to do well.
The minister berates the contractors for failing to honor the contract agreement and refusal to brief the ministry of challenges faced, if any.
The whole of this project is over 5 billion naira. The whole of this estate. 5 billion naira of Nigerian taxpayers. As a responsible contractor, what are you supposed to do? You have to honor your contract agreement. If you say you are completing the work in 4 months, and you have signed it as a contract agreement, you complete the work in 4 months. Even if you are not giving any money. If you know you cannot complete the work in 4 months because you don't have money, go and extend the contract duration. That is the responsibility. But if you refuse to extend the contract duration, and you are now giving a lame excuse of not having money, to me, it's not valid. We are not in an animal farm.
With Yobe State experiencing housing deficit, the residents are looking forward to when the project will be completed to cushion the challenges of accommodation.
The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps mining marshals have brought 15 Chinese nationals and 9 Nigerians before the Federal High Court Abuja over alleged illegal lithium mining in Nasarawa State. The suspects were arraigned before Justice Ophelia Jumogovia following their arrest on May the 16th this year in Kokona, local government area of the state, for allegedly mining without valid license or authorization. According to the NSCDC, the illegal activity took place within the mineral title area covered by exploration license belonging to Timadix Geomine Consult Limited, with operations traced to specific geographic coordinates in the area. And the defendants include 15 Chinese nationals, 9 Nigerians, alongside a company identified as C&A International New Energy Limited. The case has now been adjourned to June the 18th, 2026 for hearing. We head to Akwa Ibom State now, where the governor, Umar Eno, has highlighted key achievements recorded by his administration over the last 3 years, describing the period as one of the strategic investments in infrastructure, healthcare, agriculture, aviation, youth development, and rural transformation. The governor spoke during a media chat with journalists in Uyo, where he also reviewed the implementation of the Rise agenda, outlining plans for the next phase of development across the state.
Governor of Akwa Ibom State, I Senate President Godswill Akpabio.
3 years after assuming office, Governor Umar Eno says his administration has remained focused on delivering projects and programs aimed at improving the lives of Akwa Ibom people. Speaking during a media chat with journalists, the governor highlighted achievements recorded across critical sectors of the economy, including healthcare, agriculture, infrastructure, aviation, youth empowerment, and transportation.
Of development we have done. In our infrastructural development, we have the agricultural tourism. We have the model farm, and I just passed by there this afternoon. We have a hotel there. We have other facilities within the model farm. It's a 50-hectare facility.
On healthcare, Governor Eno points to ongoing efforts to strengthen access to quality medical services in rural communities in Akwa Ibom State.
We're developing tourism infrastructure, medical tourism infrastructure. We are building one, is going to be, by the grace of God, one of the best. It's an audacious 350-bed international hospital with facilities for cancer treatment, management, and about 24 departments, all in a single room and a single complex with an, we have an helicopter landing facility.
The governor also speaks on agriculture, citing investment in the state's oil palm revolution, support for farmers, the revitalization of agricultural facilities and initiatives aimed at enhancing food security and creating sustainable wealth for citizens.
Really moved in terms of human capital development in the state.
And just days after Children's Day, smiles lit up the home of the Needy Foundation, the IDP camp in Ohogwa, in the outskirts of Benin City, the Edo State capital, as children in the camp got one day they will cherish for a very long time. The Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, Edo State, led by its chairperson, the wife of the Commissioner of Police, stepped into the camp with music, games, gifts, and hope. Our correspondent, Jessica Oluboseria, was at that celebration.
Just days after the National Children's Day, the Home for the Needy Foundation IDP Center gets its turn to celebrate. The celebration was brought to them from outside the center. The Police Officers' Wives Association, led by its chairperson, the wife of the Commissioner of Police, Edo State, came bearing more than gifts. They came with presents, with joy, with love. A DJ keeps the music alive. A bouncy castle bounced with laughter. Costume characters like Teletubbies, Bumblebee, and the Clown MC turns the camp into a playground of wonder. Children played games, won prizes, and for a few hours, the weight of displacement lifted off their shoulders and the atmosphere as laughter fills the air.
Everybody come to us again.
The IDP children entertained their guests, their voices and dance saying what words could not. Thank you for seeing us. Some also stepped forward to share what they remember of their encounter with insurgency.
Then my father said that they should kill him and leave at go. Then they said, okay, let us go. Then as we went, we had a bush. Then they come and kill my father. Immediately we are sitting in that bush. Then another Boko Haram come and meet us.
The association also presented bags of grains, gari, soap, soft drinks, biscuits, cooked food, and more. The POA chairperson commended the camp coordinator for raising children who have faced loss and pain, many of them orphans. She said bringing the police children along was intentional to teach discipline, empathy, and the power of kindness.
I want to especially thank the coordinator, Pastor Governorship, who is doing a great job, who God has used to put this place in place. And I'm encouraging people, meaningful Nigerians who can also come around to support them because they need a lot. There are a lot going on because the children are in school. Some of them are in nursery, primary, secondary school, and of course, they need to be fed and taken care of.
The camp's authorities were emotional as they thanked POA for creating memories and for gifts that will feed bodies and hearts. They also appealed to other bodies for more support.
They came to Edo State. She's always visiting with POA, with her team, and not only visiting, she's bringing things for the children, like she just did now, celebrating Children's Day, coming to make the children feel at home. And look at what she brought.
When the children are happy, we are happy, and you can see that they are really happy. They are happy for this they've done. I pray that God will bless them. And I also want to use this medium to appeal to everyone all over the world to come celebrate with these children. Put smiles on their faces.
As the party winds down in a world that can be harsh, the IDP children in Home for the Needy Foundation, Uhogwa, Edo State, were reminded of one simple truth: they matter, they are seen, and they are loved. Jessica Olubuse, Channels Television News.
And let's turn our attention now to the arts. The Shape of Memory is a solo exhibition by Jessica Ajuya at Terra Culture Gallery right here in Lagos, where the young artist explores different issues using her unique medium, and we see that on Art Review tonight.
The Shape of Memory is a solo exhibition by visual artist Jessica Ajuya, presenting a series of digital paintings that explore womanhood, memory, and identity through color, composition, and emotional storytelling.
Been very experimental with my art, so through that I started to get better at it because it was something that was very new to me, learning how to draw on something other than like a piece of paper, which was really fun. And yeah, so I've branched out since then and learned how to trust myself in terms of like abstracts, because before I did more of realistic paintings, so this collection was a really big step for me to really come out of my comfort zone.
This is one of the most enjoyable exhibitions that I've curated because the artist herself, she's very dynamic, she's very explorative, and she's very curious. So the kind of mind and the kind of personality of the artist goes a long way in determining how I feel about the exhibition. So I love every exhibition I curate equally, but some are more equal than others, meaning I really enjoyed curating this exhibition. I've known Jessica for a while. I've known her since she was in school. She used to come to Terra Culture as a viewer and as a fan and as an enthusiast. And now she's here as an artist and an exhibiting artist at that. She's exhibited abroad already. This exhibition, she's had it abroad. So she's already well-traveled, and I'm very proud and happy to curate this exhibition.
Through expressive color and thoughtful composition, these pieces examine the intersection of memory and the soul, charting a journey of vulnerability and quiet transformation.
I wanted to highlight the different ways that memory is like non-linear. It takes time, it lingers, and then I also wanted to showcase the different strengths that we have as women, resilience, and the importance of individuality and trusting oneself and really taking the time to reflect and learn about who we are, what we love, as well as just building that positive community and safe space to be happy.
In every layer of paint, Algeria finds a story of belonging, a visual exploration of how the body holds the weight of history and the strength of the future.
And in the world of sports, Nigeria's Flamingos have progressed to the final round of the 2026 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifiers following a comprehensive 11-0 aggregate victory over Guinea. Having won the first leg 5-0 in Abidjan, the Flamingos completed the job 6-0, 6-0 in the return leg this evening in Ikene. Oluwakemi Adebuyi scored a brace, while Captain Hamani Chidi also got a double. Proprietor of Remo Stars Club, Kunle Soname, rewarded the team with 4.5 million naira for their impressive outing. They will now face Benin Republic in the final round for a place at the World Cup in October. The Super Falcons coach Justin Madugu has invited 23 players for the 2 international friendlies against Senegal. Some of the players called up for the games, which all serve as preparations for the Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, include Captain Rasheedat Ajibade, goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie, Asishat Oswala, Ngozi Okobi Okene, and Francisca Odega, Gift Monday, Crest Uchebe, Shukirat Oladipo, and Rinsola Babajide. Nigeria will host Senegal on Friday, June the 5th, with a second game scheduled for Monday, June the 8th, at the Remo Stars Sports Complex in Ikene Remo. And outside our shores, fans of Arsenal put their pain at missing out on the European glory to one side as the club celebrated its first Premier League title since 2004 with a parade in London, and that happened earlier today. Supporters lined streets in North London to show off the trophy for the upper deck of an open-top bus.
It's been 22 years since we won it. I was 10 years old when we last won the league, so I wouldn't miss it.
Exactly, as he said, it's been 22 years and actually living through it and going through the ups and downs, it's been a long ride, but finally being able to feel what it feels like, having what they've won in the past, it feels, words can't describe how it feels, but...
Yeah, it's amazing, even if though we didn't win last night, it's absolutely is worth, and to be here for the atmosphere and all with the brothers and sisters, we are having a lovely time.
De violence inacceptable à Paris et dans d'autres villes, hier soir, une bonne partie de la nuit. Et donc je veux remercier le ministre de l'Intérieur.
And as for PSG players, they also celebrated with the Champions League trophy during a special event organized at the front of the Eiffel Tower. And the French capital laid out a red, white and blue carpet for the champions with tens of thousands of flag-waving fans just to see the team. They were also received by President Emmanuel Macron before returning to the place and the stadium for a final encounter with fans. Earlier, Interior Minister Laura Nunes confirmed that nearly 800 people have been arrested, while 219 people were injured in clashes between football fans and police across France.
Scène de violence inacceptable à Paris et dans d'autres villes hier soir.
Away from sports, but outside our shores, health officials are raising concerns over the rapid spread of Ebola in the Democratic Republic of Congo, as the medical charity Médecins Sans Frontières also warns the outbreak has now reached a deeply alarming stage. Speaking 2 weeks after the World Health Organization declared the outbreak, MSF Deputy Director Dr. Alan Gonzalez said the number of cases recorded in such a short period is unprecedented. Meanwhile, WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus has visited the eastern province of Ituri, and that's the area hardest hit by the virus, to oversee containment efforts. More than 1,000 suspected Ebola cases have been reported in the DRC, with at least 246 deaths already. In neighboring Uganda, authorities have confirmed 9 cases and 1 death linked to the outbreak. The Israeli military says that it has captured a strategic beachfront castle in southern Lebanon, what Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has described as a decisive turning point in the offensive against Hezbollah. Israeli ground forces are now continuing to advance deeper into Lebanese territory beyond the Litani River, while the military has expanded evacuation orders for residents in parts of southern Lebanon. Lebanon's prime minister has accused Israel of imposing collective punishment on civilians as fighting intensifies. Overlooking the Litani Valley, Beaufort Castle has long been regarded as a key military stronghold. And following its capture, Mr. Netanyahu says Israel had broken the barrier of fear and was taking the initiative across multiple fronts, including Lebanon, Gaza, and Syria. And the main news again. President Bola Tinubu has approved the recruitment of 1,000 forest guards in Oyo State and the establishment of a specialized security unit. And this comes on the heels of a visit of the federal government delegation to the families of abducted pupils and teachers in Ogbomoso. Meanwhile, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, on his part, assured residents that his administration will do everything possible to secure the safe return of the abducted pupils and teachers from Ogbomoso. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawado. Good night and have a wonderful week ahead.